so much of what folks like me do now is when we notice the nonsense, we almost think of those COVID years. We go like, I know that you're gaslighting us a little bit, and one thing that I can think of right now that connects to that is you just went into this on your show, the orchestrated Sunday news dump of Canada's acknowledgement of the state of Palestine and an authority that hasn't held a democratic election in almost 20 years. I have great sympathy for the humanitarian toll, but surely, though, this is emboldening hostage takers, the weekly protests in our Canadian streets, the threats to our Jewish communities, is it not?
Yeah, I was drop dead shocked by it. I think we all had anticipated a early week United Nations General Assembly session where the Prime Minister Mark Carney gets up and says, as I announced in the summer, with these conditions, with consultation with members of cabinet, foreign affairs minister, you name it, this is what we would declare were we to see, again, back to conditions, A, B, C, and D. Hamas must not be involved in any elections going forward. The Palestinian Authority has to enact some kind of authority over Hamas. They've done anything but for the longest time. Then you get into a scenario where you say not only should the hostages be returned, there's a lot of other subtle things that we'd all like to see get worked out. But when I hear people talk about, Alex, a two-state solution right now, I just don't think they've thought it through, and it's very clear to me. They've never taken a university course on this. They haven't read a lot of books. They haven't watched a lot of really nuanced documentaries. And similar to what we were talking about even with the pandemic, this is not a binary issue here, and it's maddening it gets presented as that. It's sort of like when you're 7 and you're like, your favorite hockey player is this, and it just can't be anybody else. And you have to pick one of the two. Either you like this player or hate that player, or like this band or hate that band. And there is simply no room in the vocabulary for, well, are you pro-Palestinian or not? Are you pro-Israel or are you not? Because there's so many layers to it. I've spoken in the last 36 hours. I get why MPs right now don't want to go on the record from the Liberal Party. And I actually have empathy because I think two things. One, many of them were blindsided by Carney doing this over the weekend and in essence saying, I hereby declare, should say Canada declares, the recognition of a state of Palestine. None of them had, none of the ones I talked to anyway, of the three, said, I had an inkling this might happen, or we kind of got warned this might happen on the previous Friday, and they would have.